Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to stream. Good morning, Desicor. Welcome back to stream. Welcome back to the couch. Okay. Congratulations on being on time. You're definitely here right at the beginning. That is for sure. And if you want to see this stuff, that do be the right time. The best time is at the beginning. If you want to see the whole thing. Okay, let's fix that. I'll probably have to rearrange everything here in a second anyway. All right. What are we doing today? All right. So I started a trend last year for myself. That around this time, which is when I started streaming consistently, I would go through all the games I streamed in the last year and rank them. First time here is exactly when the stream starts. Congratulations. The plan is I will bring up a game. I'm going to go through them in chronological order from when it happened when in this last year. I'm going to bring it up. I'll introduce the game. I'll talk a bit about it and then I'll rank it. Midrunner, hello, hello. You have a clown nose on. Honker, honker. You're not just a clown, you're the whole circus? Well, probably just the clown. That's very specific. Rip. And then just because I'm super efficient like this. Now, I can record that later. Well, if you happen to be watching this, not live, hopefully I've made an edited video of this and there are like timestamps and you can skip around to the games. Interesting thing about today is probably a large portion is going to be Final Fantasy XIV. So this list will probably be objectively less interesting to a broad audience because last year I played like, I don't remember what the number was. It was 70 plus, I think, unique games that I ranked. But this year is probably going to be like 30% less at least, just because I played Final Fantasy XIV for like 3 months. So we'll see. Annie was welcome. Okay, so let's see. I need to get this set up. Is this the right one? That's one of them. Oh, I could also do this one. Yeah, that's probably better. Okay, now then this one. This one. Okay. It's also a different, whoa, I gotta fix the couch. It's also a different program than I used last time. I like this one because it doesn't have ads. But that being said, it also like doesn't display them quite as nice. So we'll see how this goes. I'm open to critique. Well, all right. Or criticism, feedback is probably the right word. Okay, so let's I need to bring up the, for some reason I want to do it in chronological order. It's not super important, but the first stream after I rated the games last year. Oh. Does that pop up? Yeah, it's fine. Let's see. Looks like it was the first Descendant. Now I gotta find the thumbnail because this makes sense. Oh, but the thumbnail is older. I hadn't considered that. Oh shit. Oh no. I thought I was being smart here. I could have just uploaded like all the thumbnails I had. But that also seemed like a bad idea. Where is the first Descendant not in this folder? Huh? What? Oh, wait, let's see. Descendant? Oh, no. Where? Where's this thumbnail? Okay. That's weird. I guess this is a downside to this system. I have no idea where this thumbnail is. Is it not? Why is it not in the thumbnail folder? What the fuck? I've lost it. Mr. Code, hello. Tier list, baby. Imagine it's 4 games because of Final Fantasy 14. There are way more than 4 thumbnails, and there are more. Well, there are more than 4 entries. I'm assuming I'm gonna do base game and then expansions. You know what? Since I can't find the thumbnail for it, I'm just not gonna do the first Descendant. I had a thumbnail for it last year. I don't know where it went. It's gone, reduced to ashes. Okay, well, that's... Next up is I played Nikke, the Day of the Diver crossover. So technically I've got that here. Now, okay, so Nikke is a gacha waifu collector type game. It's all women characters, and most of them are sexualized to a high degree. So it is that type of game. Its combat is like a third-person shooter gallery, but I play it mostly on auto, so I don't do a lot of the actual game playing. I set up the comps and stuff and send them out, but I'm not super engaging with the stuff. Interestingly, so Nikke as a whole is really close to being S. It actually is, especially because the thing that I put in here is this Dave the Diver crossover, and their events are actually like legit high tier. This Dave the Diver crossover had an actual Dave the Diver like recreated game in it, which is like very good. I think I'm gonna put it in A because the game itself, base game, isn't really S because it's close. If you like the characters it's got, it's gonna be good for you. And the story is actually good, at least the parts that I've paid attention to. If you know it's for you, it's gonna be a slam dunk. But the events are no shit would be engaging for anyone. They're really good. They put a lot into them. They're like the big ones, the big ones. Happy short stream Wednesday indeed. You're surviving. Aren't we all? Aren't we all? That's really the most any of us can do most times, you know? I'm doing all right. Hope everyone else is doing good. Okay, let's see. Next up is Nino Kuni 2. That was a little awkward, huh? Although, actually, technically there's more First Descendant, but for some reason I have lost that thumbnail. Oh, there's more. Ah, I played it a couple times. Where the hell is that thumbnail? Where are you? It's actually bizarre. Because it's not... Where is that? I had said I played it a year ago. I'm gonna look for it one more time. Oh, I found it. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. What? Oh, It's called, I called it F Descendant. That's why I couldn't find it. Well, I see. Okay, the first Descendant is what? Oh, The first Descendant is a free-to-play live service Warframe like hero collector and upgrader third-person shooter where you play as a first Descendant, one of multiple you can unlock. There's a suite of them that you can get somewhat easily at the beginning of the game, but the special ones are going to be more premium currency or super long grind. The upgrading system for the weapons and the Descendant itself is engaging, but the story is super bare bones and the actual grinds aren't super engaging. And so I'm gonna put this one in like B or C. It is free to play, and I enjoyed my time with it, but it's the kind of game that you would like it ideally to be something you want to keep playing. And after I finished the story and, you know, played the end game for like 3 days, I was basically done. I think when I was playing it, I didn't know if it was an A or an S, and then I was playing the end game and I was like, maybe it's B, but it's probably more like a C. It was okay. Well, maybe we'll put it in B for now. I might move that though. It was okay. Doing good right now, though I still do not feel the best. Well, that's unfortunate, but sometimes it do be that way, huh? Streams are very chill. Well, I'm hopeful that most of my streams are very chill, but I'm glad that you think this one is good and chill. Not get luck with polls. So, if we're talking about the first Descendant, polls wise, it's not a gotcha. So that's why I describe it as like Warframe like. If you're not familiar with Warframe, it's a game where you basically are unlocking like playable. It is sort of the gotcha like esque thing where you're unlocking a character where you're playing like it's your, you know, you can be playing as a prototype thing, or, you know, it's like it is the same thing where it's like you need to get the frames, or in this game it's the Descendants, to play as. They have special abilities and things, but instead of it being random, it's, well, okay, there is random drops, but you need to get to, like, you know, your list of crafting components. So it's like you need 1,500 schmeckle cables and 2 mega stabilizers, and then you need the character's specific catalyst and the character's specific DNA bingledong, and then the character's specific hyperloop accelerator. And once you have all of them, then you can craft it. But then it's like you need to go and get the core that has the percent drop for their thing, and then you take it and you beat the boss, and then you can roll the loot table. It's a grind that you could pay for and just get the thing, or you can spend 100 hours grinding for the parts. And that could go faster. You could get really lucky and get the drops you want, but it's grind or pay is the difference. Good enough to talk? Oh, well, luckily typing doesn't require a lot. But yeah, if you're actually like physically sick, ugh, that sucks. Yeah, no, that's I no one likes being sick. That shit blows. Grind for anything pretty good. So I ground for all of the like base characters. And I started grinding for like the tier 2, which it's not anywhere near like the premium. I ground for some of like the tier 2 Descendants, and that took so long that I was like, wait, yeah, I'm not even gonna try and shoot for the higher ones because it took forever. Yeah. Just threw up my clown nose. Not like spitting it out. Threw it up in the air. Oh, like. No, there's two. Oh yeah, you were doing some magic tricks. Desicore on Twitch says, am I on Twitch? Yes, that's correct. You're like one clown nose on Twitch, one clown nose on YouTube. Is that what's happening here? So the First Descendant is if you're into those games, you might know, but it was not as good as I was hoping it would be. The gameplay loop itself is pretty decent, but it wasn't good enough to hook me. Some of the First Descendants, the Descendants, had good enough gameplay loops that like I was kind of interested for a while, but it just the whole overall like the loop and the grind just wasn't quite right for me. Okay, I think next up is Ni no Kuni 2. There are a couple games here that I did not finish. So that'll be interesting. So yeah, Ni no Kuni 2, I didn't finish. I played like 3 streams and then I haven't gone back. Which I think is probably kind of maybe the biggest indicator of something that it was somehow it had a faster gameplay loop than Ni no Kuni 1. But oh, I should introduce it. Ni no Kuni 2 is the sequel to the hit RPG Ni no Kuni. Was the first one subtitle? I played Ni no Kuni Wrath of the Witch. And this one's Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom? Maybe? In theory? I would still describe it as a JRPG, but this one was more of an action combat JRPG, if I remember correctly. I think you're running around and you have weapons and stuff. I got distracted while playing this game and stopped playing, so I didn't finish it, which I feel like basically caps the game at B being the highest it can go. Because it didn't get me. I like the storyline was interesting, I think, where, you know, he's it's not Oliver. Oliver's in the first one. I don't remember what his name, the kid's name was in the second one. Something similar. It was like, oh, little Tony. But his like sidekick was like the president of the United States, which was insane. And they're like starting a country. But I think the gameplay loop was just too slow. I don't know. I'll probably put it. B tier is kind of a catch-all, huh? Well, B I think is average, right? Given a 5-tier spread. Actually, I think the other list I did was S, A, B, C, D. But this one you can't, or can I rename this? Oh, ta-da, it's the same. But like, right, since it's right in the middle, this is like the average game. That's why it's like, it's fine, like it's good, it's, you know, it's whatever, you know. Getting sick sucks for me because I do not get sick easily, so it's harder. Oh, well, I get sick like once a year. If that, sometimes, I don't know if I got sick the last year. And sometimes it is worse. Like back when I was getting like the COVID shots, that shit would knock me out for a day. But other than that, I guess it depends on the person. B, it's a game of all time. It is a game, and B is like, B is also kind of the thing where it's like, okay, yeah, maybe I'll move it down. B is definitely a tier where I'm like, it's not an A or an S for me, but B is in a tier where I'm putting it where I'm like, you know, it's good enough as a game that like it's not lower than B. Like Ni no Kuni 2 is a very well made game, and it didn't grab me, but that's probably not because it's a bad game. It just wasn't a good game for me, I think. Rabies shots are unpleasant. You know, I mean, I've definitely gotten that. I don't, but it's probably been, I don't think I remember. I think it was, you know, as a kid and I was getting like the whole suite of vaccines, but I don't feel like I ever got more than like one for rabies. Is that a, do you have to re-up that one? I don't think I don't think I'm ready for the rabies, I guess. Occupational hazard. Ah, okay. I know, is it kind of like tetanus, where it's like rabies and tetanus are like, well, we want to, you know, make sure that you're good, but if you're not like gonna be in like at risk, it's not like super important because they're like somewhat avoidable. It's lapsed. Oh no, don't get bit by something that has rabies. Classic. Okay, next up we have a controversial one from last year that I've played a lot. It's Guess the Game, which I think technically is a game, but it's sort of all games because it's just, what did I rank Guess the Game before? I don't actually know. I don't remember. It's probably like an A. I don't know. I really like Guess the Game. Oh shit. Well, ta-da! Now you can see that thumbnail real big. I missed the box. Yeah, I think it's an A. Guess the Game is a online, it's a little browser game that like Wordle has a daily thing you do, but in this game it's a screenshot of a game and you have to guess the game. I'm pretty darn good at it if it's a game I've played, and I enjoy playing little things like that, but I don't really think that one's probably for everyone. I really enjoy it though. Bit of Guess the Game. I do play it every couple months. Are you asking what this B game is? This is Ni no Kuni 2. I know last year when I was doing it, the pictures were a little bit bigger, but this one does, I think you probably can't read it because it's tiny. Well, okay, actually, let's see. I can I could rescale this, I bet. Okay, just a second. I'm gonna, oh, that's silly, isn't it? Let's see. Okay, I don't think there's anything else I need to be showing on screen right now. I guess for those on like mobile, probably this will never be readable. But that's probably better, right? Although if I scroll around, it might screw it up. Zoomed in. Yeah, we got quite the lineup here so far. Okay. Yeah, that's probably something I should have done before thought about it. I was like, oh, it's too small. If only I could make it bigger. Crazy. Crazy, I know. Ooh, okay. We've got we've two more interesting entries before we hit oops, all Final Fantasy 14. You can read them. Hell yeah. That's great. That makes it easy. That makes it easy. Although, so these are all the names of my files. So these are what I called the thumbnails. So they might not all be great names like F Descendant or Nino 2, Nikkei Diver. Guess the game's got a great name, but okay, so next up was Swarm, which is not technically a game on its own. It was a game mode in League of Legends. I had to clip my webcam I use because of how big it is. Okay. League of Legends Swarm was a limited time game mode for League of Legends that was a Vampire Survivors like co-op horde mode, and it was really good. So I'm gonna put that in S because it was actually a pretty good take on the Vampire Survivors formula. It wasn't as well, okay, I guess the S is maybe a little much. Soul and Vampires. It's a Vampire Survivor like, which is not at all really about vampires. It's you have a character that runs around and shoots little guys, and little guys will drop like currency, and you pick up the currency and you level up, and then when you level up you have a chance to get like a new attack or a new passive, and then sometimes depending on what you do, the attacks and passives can morph together. Vampires, it's like when you say Souls like Dark Souls, it's not anything at all about like Souls, you know. Souls like is, you know, because Dark Souls isn't about, you know, like, it's not like, oh, it's a game with Dark Souls, hell yeah. And it's like, no, it's actually about the gameplay loop. Vampire Survivors like is also just about the gameplay loop and not anything about vampires. If that helps. But the Swarm mode was really good. It wouldn't be an S on its own, but it was a really, really good game mode, and it was very close to being really good as a Vampire Survivors like, but it was a limited time mode, so like I put a ton of hours in it. I think I'm gonna leave it an S. You can't play it now, I don't think. I think it's gone, which is unfortunate, but I had a great time. Is there biting? Is there blood? No. No, in Nunholy, there's a lot more vampires and blood, which is also, well, okay, Nunholy is not a Vampire Survivors like. Its predecessor, Wedding Witch, was, but Nunholy is more like a Hades, like. I know. Nunholy will probably be on here later, I think, actually. Okay. Unsold. Glad you enjoyed it. Yeah. Well, in the League of Legends, the Swarm thing has literally no vampires. The Vampire Survivors has vampires in its lore. You're like, you know, playing vampire hunters and you're trying to kill Dracula. Are you trying to kill Dracula? I think you're trying to kill Dracula. There's the plot setting of that game has vampires. The League of Legends Swarm has nothing to do with vampires. Literally nothing. You're just playing like the Star Guardians and you're trying to save the city from void corruption. Next up is Flintlock. Flintlock Siege of the Dawn, which was a Game Pass game. So if you want to try it, you can do that. But Flintlock was actually a Souls-like, and it was pretty decent, but I stopped playing it. So like Nino 2, I'm just gonna put it in B. I think it was probably a fine game. Like I was enjoying my time with it. I just stopped. It's gonna be nowhere near like what do you call it? I can't think of the Fallen Lords of the Fallen. It's not like a in terms of like a tier list of like Souls games, you know, you got like your FromSoft and your like Lies of P maybe coming close to catching up and stuff, or you're like Kazan, which is like kind of, You know, they're up there fighting, and that's definitely nowhere near them, but I think it was fine. And there was a little mini game with like these coins that I was really enjoying. But it was mid. Put it in B. I don't think I had any qualms with the game quality. Although I didn't play it too much. Okay, now. So this is interesting. So the next stream is Final Fantasy XIV. Final Fantasy FFXIV, and I was like, so what's the deal with this game? And then I have a bunch of I have a ton of thumbnails for Final Fantasy. I have a ton, but I think what we'll do, I definitely I'm just gonna rank base game and then the expansions, I think, is the idea. I think that's my idea. B is mid now. Well, B is the average, which is literally mid, right? That's what mid means, right? Like, it's the middle, you know? It's mid, right? Sometimes people say mid and they're like, well, mid is bad. And it's like, well, mid is mid. It's literally what it's mid. You know? Sometimes people are like, no, mid's bad. I'm like, but it's mid. I'm like, I didn't make the word. Mid isn't like, right, if it's in the middle for you, it's not like high tier. So it's not, you know, it's not that, but it's literally mid. I'll make the rules. I'm gonna use this Sprout time, Final Fantasy XIV. So okay. Final Fantasy XIV is an MMORPG, critically acclaimed MMORPG that is free to play up to level 70 and through its first two critically acclaimed expansions, Heavensward and Stormblood. So you can try it out if you want to. But this one that I'm ranking here is gonna be base game. And the thing that I am, yeah, Annie, rank the spiel. Did I do it right? I think I got everything right. I think I hit the high notes. The hard thing about this specific ranking here is, like, do I include the new player experience thing, like the tutorial, or, you know, yeah, did it perfectly? Let's go. 57 streams on Final Fantasy XIV. Only 57? Really? Oh, damn. That sounds less than I would think, but that's pretty good. Cause, you know, like, this was the, you know, sorry. Hey, Nico, what's up? A sup? That works out. Where, cause like, this is like starting a Realm Reborn mashup. I think I'm gonna put it in A. I think though this one's definitely biased, because if you're playing okay, the full rundown here is, I would say if you're playing a Realm Reborn for the first time, I think it's gonna end up in B, because the game is compelling, but for a lot of a Realm Reborn you're like, why are we doing this? But then you play the rest of the game and you're like, oh shit, all of that made sense. And so I think a Realm Reborn probably is more of an A, but you do have to play the rest of it to figure that out. A is generous. Well, I got to play through the expedited version of the Crystal Braves part, as far, right? Like, so, and like, oh my god, I was playing through again with a friend, and we made it through like a fourth of A Realm Reborn. Like we weren't even close to anywhere near like halfway or anything, but oh my god, and they're like saying country names and stuff, and you're like, holy, oh my god, they were talking about Gridani, and like they were talking about Stormblood, like what? We were, oh huh, and like the refugees make sense, and it's like, oh my god, did you do coils? Technically, kind of. I soloed some of them unsynced for trails, which doesn't really count, but technically, yes. I just checked my Steam. Why do I have OBS on Steam? I don't know. Alamigo. Yeah, well, especially when they're and like oh my god, I'm blanking. Like what kind of things in? But they're doing Empire cutscenes, and they're talking about spies and stuff, and it's like, oh my god, what? All of that made sense. Where it's like, I feel like I went and I checked like my stream where I'm watching the cutscene, I'm like, I don't know what any of these words mean. And I was playing to my friend, I'm like, I know what all of these words mean. It's crazy. Like it all of it makes sense. Oh, Pugilist Monk. Okay. Yeah, I haven't done that one actually. I played a lot of the classes, but it's actually, it's like, it's pretty good, but you kind of need to know. So it's like, I think it would probably be, or if you're like not into MMOs or like reading things, it would probably be lower. But I'm gonna put it in A. And then next up we have Heaven's Word. Where do I put Heaven's Word? I think this is probably gonna be a bit of a hot take, but I'm also gonna put it in A tier. Oh, okay. Well, if League of Legends Swarm is an S, I can put Heaven's Word in S. I think the problem I have with Heaven's Word is that the community hypes Heaven's Word so hard. They're just like, you know, just like glazing it left and right. And that I'm like, it's not nearly as good as the stuff you see online makes it out to be, but it is good. It is very good, and the story in it is exceptional. Did you do the Scholasticate quest for Heaven's Word? You did Dark Knight. I did Dark Knight. I don't know about Scholasticate. Expecting F tier. Well, I did get rid of the F tier. It is all goes. The D is the lowest. I think I had one game in D tier last time in Phasmophobia. I don't know if I will this year. I don't know. Should have a poop tier. Short and compact. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what generated the Heaven's Word is like. You see everyone Omega glaze it, and it has some really good story beats, but I don't think it's the best expansion. I don't know if that's exactly a hot take. A lot of people have special feelings for Shadowbringers, and well, I don't hear about Endwalker as much. But yeah, ranking these is kind of hard. So Stormblood, I didn't particularly enjoy as much, which it has some really good moments, but as a whole, I think I'm gonna put it in B. But it had some really breakout moments. Honest takes, hot or not. I'm trying to be as real as possible. Everything feels smaller. Yeah, I think streamlined is a better word, where it's like it doesn't have as much fluff. So hitting. Well, the hard thing is like Stormblood has some standout moments, but I think the biggest rub for me is that Stormblood, I feel like although this kind of contradicts my ranking for A Realm Reborn, which is like, well, after you've played other stuff. Like Stormblood, I think it doesn't feel like it has a really good arc in itself, because it's both a lead into, you know, like Shadowbringers, and also just a development arc for villains for the next 2 expansions. And so it's like, it's good, and it's a necessary step, because it does add that length of story building. And like the oh god, why can't I remember her name? The arc with Samurai Dad and Samurai Daughter. I can't. Oh my god, I played through too fast, and that memory is foggy. Her name started with like an M, and his name started with like a U or something. I'm with the oranges, the tangerines. Fuck. Anyway, it was good. Play enough games I haven't played these. Well, we're knee deep in whoops all giant MMO. Mariona, that is nowhere near close. I don't know if I've ever heard that name in my life. Oh, okay, I was nowhere near close. Yotsu, yes, exactly. What's his name? And Asahi. This article says why Yotsu's arc in Final Fantasy XIV made me quit the game. Oh, but this Gosetsu. Yeah, I wasn't close, but yes, thank you. There are some, like that specifically, I'm not gonna forget that story. I have forgotten their names. But like, there were some really good moments there that are definitely better than B, but just as a whole, and like Xenos, he was like, oh wow, he's so awful, Xeno. Mr. Bastard, no. About these games, I'm in the same ship as Discord. Well, we might get other stuff. No. Good work on the names. I don't know, it's like Final Fantasy buffs probably gonna remember. But I didn't. But like, there's some really good things there, and it's like, it's not bad, but it just wasn't in the scheme. I feel like I also need to have something that's like lower to contextualize. I don't jive with Xenos at all, ever as a whole. Like, I think wait, where the I feel like by the end of it, I was like, I really love this character and how he fits in the story, but I did not enjoy his presence in Stormblood. Asm Step, oh yeah, you're right. The Asm Step is great. that's like I fucking love Bardom's Medal. That dungeon is like my favorite dungeon. The vibes there are great. I don't know if it, I don't know if that quite brings it out, but like there is some really good stuff. Okay, Shadowbringers. I know that for some in chat, this one is a definite S. And if Heavensward is an S, Shadowbringers is an S. I do also really like that. I think I've said this before, but Shadowbringers is the most insulated. And so it, unlike all the other ones that have to stand as a part of a whole, Heavensward in some ways has some of the similar things, but not nearly as much. Who in chat? What? You fucking love Shadowbringers. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? No. I don't know if I have anything more specific to say. Like, but then it also does set up a lot of big story beats too. Shadowbringers is really good. It's really good. I don't know if I have anything more specifically to say about it. I think I've watched you play Needles on stream. Yeah, no, this was nearly a year ago. This was a while ago. And Endwalker is my favorite. Endwalker is my favorite. Endwalker was just goated. But Endwalker does get the it gets the benefit of being the end of a like 5 expansion line, and it gets the payoffs for all of it, which is kind of unfair, but man, is it just like a the turnaround for Light being bad. Yeah, it's like, oh no, the Warriors of Darkness. What? It's a good one. It's a good one. Raid bounce. I don't think I've really done that because I don't really do raids. But yeah, Shadowbringers has the Nier Automata ass. Pretty nice. Finally comes to the game. Oh yeah, well, and I think there's nothing that's really gonna beat your first expansion, right? I think, you know, a lot of people dislike Dawn Trail, but it being my intro is always gonna make it special to me, you know. Because it's my expansion. Interestingly, I don't appear to have a Dawn Trail thumbnail, which is odd. Let's see. Special expansion. You're always gonna have your OG. I think we'll probably just drop. I have a Crossroads one, which would work. How did I not? Why? I've got this one that's just Viper. And so I'm gonna put I'm gonna put Dawn Trail in A. I don't know. People would they rioting the streets? Dawn Trail better than Stormblood. But because Dawn Trail gets to encompass my entire playthrough for me, because it's like I'm, you know, playing the new classes, and that's the current expansion for me. It will still the current expansion, but yeah. Still in progress. Very fair A. I think I'm not doing any sort of like sorting within, even though I put this behind, but I think I would put Dawn Trail above A Realm Reborn for me, but I think that one's a pretty personal one. So yeah, you know. Okay, and then I need to check my list. Did I stream anything in the middle of that? Okay, we got A Realm Reborn, Heavensward, Stormblood on stream. in theory, I might have taken a break somewhere in the middle. Did I play anything else? Viper, Bob Ross. Oh, there's some Rabbit and Steel in here. Happy Birthday. Oh, and there's some Risk of Rain. Okay, so there's some stuff in here. Ranking the categories. No, I mean I could, but I'm not currently. Bob Ross, yeah. I was playing Pictomancer. Yeah, wait, here it is. Bob Ross. Ta-da! Picto. Let's see, where is... we got Risk of Rain. And what else was I looking for? I played Rabbit and Steel. Where's Rabbit and Steel? Oh, that's... oh, it's one at a time? Oh, I probably needed to shift select, huh? Never mind. I'm just stupid. What's new? Where? Oh my god. Stop it. Okay. Say Rain World. Well, you know I haven't played Rain World. So... THRPG 17, I find 3 players in 5 hours. Interesting. Very specific. Very specific. Okay, so what was first? Rabbit and Steel. So Rabbit and Steel was on last year's. It's an S. Rabbit and Steel. Oh god, what was the description? Rabbit and Steel is a roguelike raid-like. With from 1 to 4 players playing through a boss rush and building a build with a cast of rabbit characters. It is and can be very tough. It is a kind of a brutal game. It may or may not introduce you to some Final Fantasy boss mechanics. I think that was part of the reason I ended up trying Final Fantasy XIV. Actually, I'm pretty sure that's part of it. I was like, people were like, oh, it's just like Final Fantasy XIV. I'm like, really? So, it can be, if you're potentially into some of that, you could be worth a look. For sure. It's definitely also like Night Rain, a lot better with friends. Is that one with the exploding thing on the screen? There's definitely a lot happening on screen a lot of times. Yeah, and what the way they do their stack mechanics is that everyone needs to stand in a circle and it fires projectiles out. And so if you're not on the circle, you haven't stacked. People often relate those two games around me. Rabbit and Steel and Final Fantasy XIV. No, Risk of Rain. Risk of Rain 2 is a prototypical new age roguelike where you acquire lots of items. I feel like this was kind of the pioneer of this new style, although I think it's definitely based on Risk of Rain's style, but this new, kind of like 3D fast approach, it was kind of the pioneer of. It's got multiplayer. It's good. This one was specifically the what's it called? Something of the Seekers of the Storm. And this update, this was new DLC, and it was also the port that like broke the entire game. So I think I'm gonna need. You know what? Actually, this DLC is kind of a D. It literally like broke the game. Things just stopped working. Well, okay, I'm not gonna be that rude. It's just a C. It was quite a bad DLC. It like noticeably made the game worse, unfortunately. I think they've fixed a lot of it, but things just didn't work anymore. Things would just kill you. Sometimes you just die. Sometimes you would fly too far. Sometimes you wouldn't go anywhere at all. Sometimes things would you wouldn't get rewards. It was bad. It reintroduced a lot of frame rate stuff, I think. And so it was the faster your frame rate was, the faster all the enemies moved. I think too. There was some stuff in there that was crazy. You could like make yourself instantly kill yourself, but you could also make yourself immortal. There was a bunch of, it was jacked up. It was like, and then there was like the Xbox version, you couldn't launch the game, or if you did, it would like delete your entire progress. There was some nasty shit. Luckily for me, it wasn't that bad. If I had experienced like a lot of the stuff, I would probably put it in like the lowest tier, but for me it was just like not good. Risk of Rain and Rain World. They're comparing Risk of Rain and Rain World. There's no way. There's no way anyone's saying that. Guess the name fits? Risk of Rain? That's the name? Or the Seekers of the Storm? And there's Art Starkus in here, but that's not a game, so I'm not going to rank that. To the word rain in the title. I mean, they both do have that. That's true. That's true. Oh, there's another Rabbit Steel. What's more? And then guess the game again. The DLC Storm name. Huh? Art Starkus is S tier? Hell yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, here's one. At least one person will definitely recognize. Where's the thumbnail? Oh, maybe, was this a thumbnail I had made earlier and then not used? Oh, gourd. Oh my gourd. This is a game from Game Pass. So, oh, there it is. Okay, found it. Okay. Clone Drone in the Danger Zone. It's on Game Pass, so if you got that, feel free to check it out. What the hell is Clone Drone in the Danger Zone? It has a roguelike element you can play. Well, and there are roguelike elements where you are playing a battle bot, little robot, and then putting different upgrades or weapons on it and fighting. But it has a storyline that can take place outside of that. It's got a little storyline, little campaign that's pretty fun, but it has the biggest draw for this game is you're playing robots and they there's physics to when you have laser weapons and you can cut bits off of other robots and stuff, and so the combat is just like fast and flashy, and it's just like a robot slasher thing. Resend your fanfic. You have it on PlayStation? Hey, you're like, it's not just on Xboxes, actually. It's a pretty fun little game. Getting games mixed up probably because of how your head is right now. Okay. Cleanse Jane Jones, it's a good game. Yeah, it's pretty good. I don't think I'm gonna put it in A tier. I think it's a really good B tier game. Like, it would probably be towards the top of B tier. I think it's kind of too small of a game for me to put higher. Like, it's a lot of fun, but I don't know if it's one I would super recommend to a lot of people, just because it's kind of small. Yeah, there was some fanfic of the characters, because one of the cool things about it was that, you know, it names all the characters you play, and so it kind of had some emergent storytelling with the characters that I had, you know, made it through stuff. Yeah. Fanfic starts to clone the characters that got through the campaign. Exactly. Because it was kind of fun. It was like they weren't like my player insert characters. They were just the people that I happened to be playing as when they like survived. It's fun. And it was like, whoa, is there some like Yuri here? Is it toxic? I don't know. It was a good time. It was a good time. I think I would have enjoyed the game significantly less if you weren't there and being like, oh my God, is this fanfic? I think I would have played it and been like, that was interesting. And I don't think I would have remembered those plot points as much because I think I was commenting it on it in the moment, but I think it wouldn't have stayed. But then you were like, oh my God, that's so great. And I was like, is it? Okay, let's roll with it. So that was fun, but I don't think it would have been like that if I wasn't streaming it. And so like, if you're playing by yourself, it's probably just gonna be like a B. I don't know. Because I'm like, oh my God, what is this? But then you're like, ship it. I was like, okay, we can run with that. I think that's what I talk about. That super fun. I know. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It made me enjoy it more, which is nice. Which is, I think, supposed to be the point of streaming. It doesn't always work that way though. But it's nice when it does. It's nice when it does. Next up is Final Fantasy 15. 16, not 15. 16. XVI. Wow. Jesus. 16. XVI. 15 is the boys of the car. I have not played that. Final Fantasy 16. What is Final Fantasy 16? It is a Japanese RPG, but it is not turn-based. I don't think Devil May Cry is the right word, but it is a hack and slash combo based game where chaining your abilities, attacks, combos together is the name of the game. There is also perfect dodges and parries and things, but they're mostly just part of the flow of the combo skill-based combat. I got to like the second half of the game probably, and then I stopped for some reason. I think I'm gonna put it in A. I think I would have kept playing it, but it like didn't run very well on my PC. Despite it being an older game, it looks gorgeous, and the story was interesting, but it like was really hard to stream it. And I think that's the main reason I stopped. You need to go right now. Have a good day. Thanks for stopping by. You can always come by and check the list later if you need to see what's what. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Final Fantasy, I was enjoying it, playing it mostly. But it wasn't easy enough for me to engage with it to keep going, which is I think unfortunate, but I don't think that's really the game's fault. So I'm gonna try and not hold that against the game, is the idea, I think. I have not played Final Fantasy 15. I did not finish Final Fantasy 16. I got to like what I would probably describe as either the mid game or like second, third time skip. But I did not finish it. I think I've thought about finishing it off stream a couple times, but then I go, well, I don't want to finish it not on stream, and then I just don't play it. And so I think that's why I would say that, like, I think part of the reason I didn't play more of it was because it didn't perform super well on stream physically. And so then I'm like, well, I could play it off stream, but then I know I said the exact same thing. I said Final Fantasy 15, and then I was like, wait, no. So I that was what you had technically typed, and I was assuming that it probably wasn't what you meant, but I wanted to say the whole spiel just in case. Just in case, you know? Okay. What's next? What's next? It's Final Fantasy 16. And then I went back to 14. 14. 14. 14, 14, 14, 14, 14, 14, 14. Oh no. Okay. Next up is Dragon Age the Veilguard. Oh. I really didn't get much of that 16 stream. Sorry. When I was saying like they weren't good, I was just talking about that, like when I was playing it, I feel like the stream was chunky and the game was chunky. It wasn't a factor of like no one showing up. Although I don't think streams were doing super great like interaction wise at that point anyway. But it was just mostly that it didn't work right. It didn't feel like it was a good stream. That is what I was going for. And that was there was a significantly more friction for being able to and playing it on stream. Is the message there. So Dragon Age the Veilguard is an action RPG set as the 4th installment to the critically acclaimed Dragon Age series. It's sort of a hybrid gameplay style of like Souls-like parry dodge, refillable healing items with something like Mass Effect Andromeda's skill wheel, with your companions having skills and you having skills, and setting up combo or like detonation, kind of like Anthem, where you want to prime something and detonate it. And the combat itself wasn't too bad. For the most part. But I didn't love it a ton. Because I felt like setting up a good comp and having the characters you wanted and being fun was hard to do, and the party size being small was also a little sad. Played the Dragon Age with Alistair. He technically shows up. I don't know if well, I think he could be in the first 3 if you, depending on how things worked out. I think. Can he be sacrificing? Maybe he can't. Maybe it's just, is it just Hawk or Loghain in Inquisition? Maybe he's not in Inquisition. But I'm assuming you're talking about DAO, Dragon Age Origins, the first one. That's a really good one. That was on the list last year. Pretty sure. Dragon Age Origins is goated. Dragon Age the Veilguard is a spit in the face of the Dragon Age series. And if I was ranking it purely on value to the Dragon Age series, it would be as low as it could go. because there's almost nothing about the game that is any way respectful to any of its predecessors. But as a standalone game, it isn't the worst thing I've played. So I think I'll stick it between the two. I think this game, if you were just playing it, but it doesn't really make a lot of sense if you haven't played the previous games, but it also doesn't make a lot of sense if you've played the previous games. So I'm gonna stick it, we'll put it in like C, because it's probably a B to your average person if they can get over the fact that they're referencing a bunch of stuff that you've never heard of. But if you've played the previous games, it's kind of like a D. I didn't enjoy a lot of my time with Dragon Age: The Veilguard. Some of the characters were pretty good, but it's just fundamentally flawed. It's been a while since I played it. But I think if I'm correct, I think I'm missing like a single achievement for this game. And normally I like getting achievements, but it would have required me to have to play the game again because I missed like a dragon because I didn't fight or I didn't get the bargain with Spirit, but I was like, I'm not playing any more of that. I just was like, I'm done. Let's see, dragon. Yeah, I'm missing a single achievement. But I would have had to play through the game again, and I was like, nah. No thanks. Achievement that 30% of players have, apparently. But yeah, I missed it. Whoops. But yeah, playtime 59 hours. I didn't want to play any more of it, which says something, you know. I was afraid of that game, and time to play the older ones again. Well, I had played them again last year in preparation for new game. Okay, I didn't play Inquisition. I played 1 and 2 on stream not this last year. It was the end of the year before. So I guess I can't say last year anymore because now that's not the right thing. But Dragon Age Origins and 2 were on the tier list for last year, but not this one for like, yeah. I haven't played Inquisition again because that one's like a 300-hour game. And I would argue, not to be like, I don't know, hipster contrarian something or other, but Inquisition was the start to this, whatever this was. Inquisition was pointed directly in the direction of this game, and it worried me. And it was correct. I didn't like Inquisition as much character and story wise, and there is a direct dotted line. Like I could see it coming even then. Because it's a whole thing. But yeah. There were signs. And so Inquisition was really good. It was good. But it's definitely not my favorite. 10 hours of Inquisition. Didn't vibe with it. I have a friend who also has played like a tiny bit of Inquisition and didn't vibe with it. I really like Dragon Age 1 and 2. But yeah, Inquisition is just a good game, but it's not my favorite Dragon Age. It's also not my least favorite Dragon Age. Next up, we have Call of Duty Black Ops 6. This game is on the Game Pass. It is the current newest installment of the Call of Duty franchise, where you play guy with gun. I played this game for its zombies mode. I played a little bit of the campaign. I can't really speak to that. I enjoyed the zombies quite a bit. I played a ton of it. I'll put this, I'm just gonna drop it an A. If you know Call of Duty or zombies, you will know everything. If you don't, the zombies mode is just like a PvE, you know, shoot 'em up, explore, get upgrades thing, which was fun. And there's little skins to grind out by killing a bunch of zombies of different ways with different weapons, which is fun. There's also, they call them Easter eggs, but there's basically there's like a plot to each level. And if you do a certain series of events and things, you can unlock the story and cutscenes and like extra bosses and encounters and things. And I enjoyed doing those. So it's the zombies mode. I would definitely recommend trying. It is on Game Pass if that is something you do. I would probably give it a go. You do have to install like a crazy amount of content to play just like the single player zombies by yourself, but I would recommend it. And I would have kept playing it, but my game totally broke. This textures just absolutely were degrading over time, and I had to stop. But good stuff. In this house, we don't play Call of Duty, but we know too much about its Modern Warfare 2 and 3 characters. I get you. I see. I'm tracking the plot lines. I was like, in this house we don't play it. What? But then you're a soap ghost. I track. I follow. Well, if you don't play them, did I ask how you encountered the characters? Do I know that lore? I feel like I would have asked that. Oh my God, Discord. That's like 50% of the message you send in this chat is what's 9 plus 10. It's like a significant portion. Is this so central to your personality? God damn. Next up, there's Hildebrand. I won't rank that separately. Wow. I've got a message on Twitch from someone that has word salad as a name. I don't even know how to approach saying hi back to this person. Or it's almost like ADHD web dev. I don't know. You don't have anything else to say? I see. Rip. It looks like I took a break in January. Oh, and then we've got Skill Legends. Okay, that's an interesting one. Vampire AU for the pairing. Oh, okay. Okay, wait, that sounds familiar. I think I must have asked about that. Okay. Yeah, it's AHDHWBEVDV. Or it's like add Bev. I'm definitely seeing Bev. That's but if they yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Military propaganda men, hell yeah. What's your favorite color and what's 9 plus 10? Didn't you ask what my least favorite color was yesterday? Okay. So Skill Legends Royale is a battle royale type game, auto battler. I think the lobbies are 8 people, but much like if you've played something like TFT or like an auto chess, auto battlery type thing, it's that you're competing with a group of players. And this game there's a pool of skills, so you're collecting skills in a variety of trees to try and beat players in 1v1s, but the 1v1s are just pure auto, so that your 2 little heroes will stand next to each other and hit each other until they fill up their ult bars and they do stuff. And it is supremely addictive. It is I found it hard to play a little bit. What's Dragon Age Veilguard almost ended up in D. Almost. It was close. I think I briefly put it in D, but like Dragon Age Veilguard, AAA title, 59 hours. Where's Skill Legends? How much have I played this? 73. So, you know, I'll put it in A. I don't think it's an S tier, but it's very engaging. You can easily play a ton of it. How does it look on stream? We're kind of behind chat a little bit, but that's probably fine. Right? I could probably slide it over. Save some more room ish. That's probably fine. It's still behind chat, but that's I could slide it down. Technically that would let everything be out, but that feels a little weird. Well, we'll run with it. We're going jank mode. Hell yeah. Jank mode. Twitch says, nice avatar. Thank you. I made it myself. Okay. After Skill Legends, we have Turmoil, which I don't think was a Game Pass game. I think it was just a Epic game I had received. I think I was trying to play like the Epic Game of the Week, and I think that lasted for like 2 weeks, if I remember correctly. Made yourself? Yeah, I mean, I made this. I made that. I made the couch. Yeah, everything on screen right now I've made myself. The chat, the this, the this. I'm making the tier list right now. I mean, so technically this is using a program called Vroid. So like I used like the body and the bones and stuff, I didn't make myself. Like I didn't make it from a 3D model from scratch, but like I painted all the textures and the stuff on. Yeah. It's about as, I mean, like, yeah, I didn't do it from scratch, but I don't know what the hours are at this point, but I've spent at least 40 to 50 hours on this physical representation of me, at least. So I've put enough time in that I feel fine saying I made it, even though I did use a significant amount of tools and tutorials and things. But yeah. Yup. But Turmoil was it was a weird little like oil tycoon simulator. I believe it was from Epic Games, and I played it for one day on stream, and I think it was fine. I think I played through the thing and was like, that's interesting. That's fun. But I think I didn't want to play any more of it. I think it was like you drill down and then you are like piping stuff up, and you're filling carts and things, and you're competing against some like AI businesses, and you're trying to drill up more oil than them. But the game like wasn't hard. It was not super engaging. It was kind of interesting, but I don't know if I'd like recommend or anything. 40 hours exclamation question mark. Yeah. I think it took me like 30 to do V1. And then I've definitely come back and done extra stuff. So like I don't I might have pictures. I think I've talked about it before. But like there's been a couple versions. I think the version 1 had the shadows and cell shading stuff. Maybe? I can't remember. But then I've gone back and I've redone some of the side like shave stuff a bit. I've redone some of the highlights and how the light affects with stuff. I've done extra work on the animations. I recently did stuff with the opening the sweatshirt. I've made other versions. I made a bald one. I made one that's blue. Wait, that's late, right? Do I still have those? I don't. This brief digression. It's probably don't have time for it, but okay. The bald one I definitely have here. That's easily accessible. He's bald. Bald as a ping pong ball. Can you zip and unzip the sweatshirt? No, I cut it right down the middle. In theory, well, it's just like a vest at this point. Bald. I have a blue one of this that I made for Blue Wizard. It's not easily with like like that. But so I've put in some serious hours on the old model. And so while it's not quite fair to say that like it took, like 60 hours to make it, I have in theory put that amount of time in adjacent stuff. But the original like 30 it took to make the Astarchus was I had to learn everything too. So I think I could probably, well, I don't know, I've probably forgotten everything. I don't know, I could do faster. Came back and my game was bald. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not bald at all. Okay. What? Oh, Turmoil. Yeah, it was an interesting little like oil tycoon game. Mostly drilling. There's like a little bit of puzzle, but it was fine for a day. If you have a free copy, you could try it. Ooh, okay. We got a heavy hitter here. We got 9 souls. Oh, actually, there's a thumbnail coming up that was my 1.5 debut where I was memeing about being bald. I think 9 souls is an S. 9 souls is on Game Pass, I'm pretty sure. So you should definitely check that out if you have Game Pass. Oh, no, this is all out of whack anyway. 9 Souls is a Metroidvania. So it is a 2D side-scroller exploration game where you fight through levels of enemies and traps and bosses. It also has a very Sekiro-styled parry gameplay flow. So lots of parrying enemies and countering when available. It has slick movement. The controls are pretty good. The combat is pretty darn good. I have some gripes with the combat, but and the story, the sound design, and the animations are all really high tier. What is the best game in S rank? No, I'm not doing any. I'm not ranking them internally in the tiers. I'm just ranking them in the tiers. But I guess if it was so far, I mean, these three are all the same game. There's different expansions for Final Fantasy XIV. I think Final Fantasy XIV is a really good game as a whole, but Nine Souls and Rabbit and Steel are also very good games. Currently, League of Legends is also technically here with its mini game with the Swarm, but the S tier is a little bit of a mess right now. Arcel was very nice. Yeah, that game is really difficult, but I think there's an easy mode. I think there was difficulties. I don't know how much easier it would be, but Nine Souls was a very good game. I'm glad I played it, but it was super difficult, and some of the bosses I didn't super jive with, but I really enjoyed the game as a whole, and if you have Game Pass, I would definitely check it out. I think I hopefully explained that enough. I think the thing with Nine Souls though is like, I feel like if you are into the genre, you've probably already heard about it. So if it's for you, you probably know. It's probably not like, because yeah, like Moist Critical has talked about it, and so if you follow Charlie at all, you've probably experienced it if you want it. Let's see what's next. Oh, Nunholy, baby, let's go. Nunholy's an S. So if you're, I actually already had mentioned Nunholy this stream. Nunholy is the spiritual successor to Wedding Witch, two games by an artist named, I'm pretty sure they're Chowbie, I think is their name. Chowbie, I'm pretty sure. Maybe don't quote me on that, I could be wrong. But they're games that have definitely a focus, like Nikkei, on just enjoying the feminine form is probably the most politically correct way to say that. But both of them have had really solid gameplay loops as well. Nunholy is it's basically Hades. It has your walk into a room, clear a room, then you pick some rooms to go to, and then at the end of a, you know, like area, there's a boss, and then you progress to a new area and you repeat. But it also, and there are some like level up pick abilities. You have like your ult, that's the boon kind of thing. But most of the game is you have an inventory system, and you get like little Diablo style drops, and then you Tetris them in your inventory to make your build. And it's just a really fun game. I don't how much time did I play? I don't think it's not a very long game. I think I probably only played like 20. Oh no, 10. I have 10 hours in the game. So it's a pretty short game, but it's also not an expensive game, I don't believe. How much is it? It's like $6 right now. It's $8 when it's not on sale. It's got 25% off right now. Yeah, I've even got a review for this game on Steam. This game is awesome. If you will know if this game is for you. You aren't getting the polish of Hades/Hades 2, but you are getting its gameplay loop with different mechanics and an incredible retooling. The balance tips pretty quickly and heavily in the player's favor, but it's a very enjoyable experience. When everything is working correctly, it's a heavenly experience. Highly recommend! ! Yeah, there are some issues that can occur when you're playing that do kind of break the game, but I really enjoyed it. It's fun. If you go check it, look at the pictures, you'll know if you want to play it. And if you know it, you will have a good time, is what I would say. Great art, great music. The art in game, like the actual gameplay animation art stuff, is like fine. Mostly like the art of Heavenly Experience. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I really enjoyed it. This is my tier list, and if you disagree, you can disagree. Next up is Balatro. Balatro is a roguelike poker game where you collect a deck of cards and a set of jokers that change the way your poker hand scores. And it can be kind of a how many hours do I have in Balatro? I have managed to not get super hooked by Balatro. I've got 15.8 right now. I definitely know a lot more poker. I think I probably I'll just pop it in S. If you just go, you might get onto this. It's true. It's true. You could do that. For some reason, Balatro didn't like hit gold with me. The way some of the other like roguelikes and stuff have. But it's a really good game. And there's just definitely a reason that it has. I think most people know about Balatro. It's been pretty popular for a long time, and for good reason. And if you haven't tried it, you probably should, just to see. I don't think it's super expensive on any platform, but boom, yep, smacking the mic, POV. You're suspended in the air before me and I'm abusing you accidentally. Nice stream. Thank you, Twitch. Now that I'm making bad noises. But yeah, I didn't personally enjoy Balatro a ton for some reason. But it does definitely have the highs of some good runs and the lows of some bad runs, and you can probably flip the scales if you know enough. I think the thing for me is I've never been a big fan of card games, and I don't love RNG is fine, but I'm not a big fan of RNG when I'm like looking for something specific, where like I think, and the big thing with card games is that like the part of Balatro is like you can trim your deck down to make it more likely to draw the cards you want, which I like. But one of the things that is always like a negative is you unlock more jokers, but the more jokers you unlock, it reduces the odds that you get some of the jokers that you might be looking for. And I don't like that because in some ways it de-incentivizes you unlocking more jokers, which I don't like. But I have a card game thing, so that's probably not, super relevant. It's a very well-made game, and a lot of people really like it for a lot of really good reasons. Okay, what's next? I played more Final Fantasy 14. Nice. Oh, guess the game again. 9 Souls again. Ooh. Okay, this was another epic game of the week game. So I don't think you can like go play it particular anywhere. This was, oh, bye Twitch. Thanks for stopping by. Maybe I'll see you around. Behind the Frame was an S. This was an art puzzle game. It was not very long, but it was a really beautiful experience. The music was also very loud for a very long time. I think. But it was a beautiful little game. And it was a very emotional experience. And I think it was, I remember it very fondly, especially just because it felt like, it was really doing, a video game thing you don't see a lot, which is like, using the medium to its full potential, where it was like getting to experience it as a video game was very, it was taking an art form to another level, where it's like, you're not just like doing a puzzle game, or you're not just reading a story or watching a TV show. It was like the interactivity and the perspective was really cool. And I really enjoyed it. I think I cried at least once, if not twice. But I think it was a pretty damn beautiful game. I don't know how much it is or what platforms it's on, but you could think about it. I think I enjoyed it. I think I played it in like a couple hours. I think it was pretty short. Sounds really good. I think it was a really good experience. I don't know if it translates entirely well to like watching through it. I'm not sure. If the stream reaches through the screen and stream. I see. But yeah, you could look into it, but I feel like if you watch, it's also the kind of game where it's very plot heavy, and so if you watch it like someone play it, then playing it through yourself really doesn't work. So I don't know if I would say like check it out. I don't know. It's an interesting one. I enjoyed it. Oh, there's some more 9 souls. Let's see. Oh, then we also have Orcs Must Die Death Trap, which is definitely on the Game Pass. Orcs Must Die Death Trap is a third-person shooter hero tower defense game. The Orcs Must Die series is all about tower defense and killing orcs. This is the first and like only title I've played from the series, and it was pretty fun. I played some with my dad. We did some tower defense. I think it's probably like a B. I like tower defense, and this one was kind of fun. But like the progression wasn't really there, and I basically ended up doing the same. Once you play a map and have like a strat, there's not a lot of, it feels like, reason to do anything different. And like if you compare and contrast to like other tower defense types where it's like I really enjoy doing different things in like balloons, whereas in this game I felt like I was trying some other things, but like not everything will always be able to work. And so it felt like the kind of thing where you find like one thing that works and then you do that, but then do you just do that every time? It was fun and good, and it's, you know, multiplayer, and there was some you know, like progression and things, but it didn't hit quite right. But it free on Game Pass if that's your prerogative. You give it a try. It also kind of ran surprisingly badly on my system, which is weird because it wasn't that special. Like Final Fantasy 16 running bad, Monster Hunter Wild running bad, that's like, okay, right, like those games are fucking gorgeous. This game was like, why is it running like this? The menu was running at like 10 FPS and used my GPU to the max, which was weird. Very weird. Next we have Avowed. Okay, this is an interesting one. Avowed is on Game Pass. That's where I played it, and it's a full RPG. Avowed is a Skyrim style RPG. It's a, you know, first person run around, shoot stuff, blow stuff up, magic RPG. It doesn't have the same open world mega quest system that like a Skyrim does. But it's like a Skyrim Lite where you move through a series of smaller maps with quests and loot. The combat was fun. It wasn't complicated, but it was fun. And I shot a lot of stuff with guns, is what I did. The story was good at times. The overarching narrative was pretty good, but the thing that I think I would have probably put this in like an A or even an S, except for that there was a couple times where the game, you know, decides that it wants to have player input. And at least one notable time, you choose 2 bad options for, no, that was twice. Twice you have to pick between 2 awful things, and then you'll get blamed by someone no matter what. Even if, like, sometimes, especially when there's like, well, is there not a third option, or pick neither? And you get railroaded into picking one of 2 things that someone is gonna blame you for anyway. And then some of the characters were so hypocritical that they swatched on it, where it was like, I can't believe you destroyed the history. And then later, they're like, you need to destroy this history. And it's like, excuse me? Are you listening to yourself? So that part got me, where it was like, it wanted you to, you know, like, be making impactful decisions, but it like didn't work for me at all. I hated it. And so it was like, what the hell is this? I think the game would have been A or S, but with that sort of stuff, I think I need to put it in B, because like, I enjoyed a lot of the gameplay loops, and like a lot of the quests were engaging enough, and the worlds to interact with was cool. And the characters had some depth and things, but like the main story just ended up crashing and burning for me personally so hard that it kind of soured the whole experience as a whole. And like, I really like some of the systems where every single like magic item was unique. So like all like the rings and amulets you had, you knew you weren't gonna find like something with a slightly better stat roll. And so I really liked how they did loot, and the exploration was fun. But the main story and your engagement was just, I didn't enjoy it. And I do think one line from that game constantly. So it's definitely left an impact on me. There's nothing like a win with a good team. He said that so many times, and I was saying it ironically, but now I just think that sometimes. I play a game and kill enemies, and I just, nothing like a win with a good team. I say that now. So, you know, I have to give it props somewhere. I thought it was funny that he said that all the time, and now I say it. So irony turned to this. Ooh. I think we've got a D incoming. Here comes the D. Choo choo. Ooh. Don't say it like that. So, Dauntless. Now, a big old D. Choo choo coming right in. So Dauntless used to be a mega S tier game for me. Like 6 years ago. I fucking love Dauntless. I played this game every day. I was active on the Dauntless Discord. I was friending people I never met before and playing games with them, which is something I never do. I never do that. I was an active participant in just the Dauntless community. I mean, like, no one's gonna remember me, I don't think, unless you happened across like someone that played with me or something. I have some like Discord messages with people, but I played this game a lot. I played this game to a high level. I got a gold crown. I loved the shit out of this game. The game has gone through a series of updates since that time. Dauntless Reforged was an update that made me quit the game. And they've updated it again since then and made it even worse. Well, it's a different worse. Well, okay, it's a different kind of bad, I think. But even less of the game that I loved is there. And that can't be ignored. The betrayal indeed. Yeah, the game I loved is gone. It's gone. You can go and play Dauntless right now, and it is just not the same game. It is not the same game. The monsters are there, and a lot of my loot and stuff is still there. I can wear a lot of the same skins. But yeah, I think they changed the sell stuff too. Oh yeah, like I can't play the same build. It's gone. I can use the same weapon skins, but now even the weapons I used to like are not in the game. It's a whole thing. And so I have to put it as low as it can go. I played it a little bit and was like, wow, I think if you were looking at the game objectively, I think if you came in knowing what it was and were playing it, it's probably like a C, maybe a B. But it's like if Dragon Age of the Veilguard was Origins. It was like if they updated Origins into that game. I would be like, wow, you've gotten rid of something I loved and replaced it with something I don't like, and that is even worse than being yourself. Like if the thing I didn't like was a standalone game, I can be like, yeah, it's not great, but it's fine. But when it replaces the thing that was good, it's like it's even further negative. Like you have wronged me. Yeah, that's what I'll say for Dauntless. I think that makes sense. Oh, I didn't say what Dauntless was. It's like a Monster Hunter Light. If anyone needed to know that. I don't. The gameplay loop doesn't even really factor in for me right now. It's just that I loved one and it is gone, and I check back in every once in a while, and it's still, they still haven't reverted Reforged, and so I have not come back. Just tastes like sadness. It tastes like bitter. It tastes like, but it's like, yeah, it's betrayal. It tastes like it. It tastes like rotten nostalgia. But next up is Monster Hunter Wilds. Monster Hunter Wilds is the newest installment in the Monster Hunter series, where you craft big weapons and fight bigger monsters to craft bigger, better weapons. Repeat. This is an S tier game. I'm having trouble putting there. Monster Hunter Wilds is S tier. It's good. It's good stuff. I really love playing this game. What do I open your copy? You have a copy of Monster Hunter Wilds? What? Damn. Play that shit. It's good. Well, okay. It's very Monster Hunter has an incredible learning curve, and I probably had the same conversation before. It can be very hard to get into. This was the first one that I have played to completion at launch, and actually that's no longer true, because I haven't played Title Update 2, so I haven't fought either the 2 new monsters or done the new quests, so I no longer have completion, I would say. I 100% of the game achievement-wise on Steam in like the first week or 2. I really love it. I think it's really good. Lost my friend that's gonna play with you. Yeah, that would hurt. Yeah. Monster Hunter is very complicated and can be very not fun to play sometimes. So it's definitely a niche recommendation. Oh, I lost the ranking. Maybe when the thing got wider. When did that happen? Oops. Well, this is getting jankier. Oops. But Monster Hunter Wilds is pretty. It's a contender for Game of the Year. Oh, D tier is gone, isn't it? It fell off. It fell off. Does anyone need to see? Does anyone even need to see D tier? But yeah, it's probably because the S tier doubled up, and so D tier dropped off. It dropped off. Which is not the same as it was. But yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds is up there. It's a damn good game. It is goated. Nobody likes D tier. No. No one even really likes D tier as a tier, because like arguably this one was originally labeled F, and normally it's like S, A, B, C, and then like just F. Like I just think F is kind of a mean tier, but D is like, is it even a fun letter for a tier list? I don't know. Next up is 33 Immortals, which is a game on the Game Pass, so maybe give it a try. What the hell is 33 Immortals? 33 Immortals is like a PvE battle royale roguelike raid simulator thing. Because 33 Immortals is pretty unique, that you spawn in with a group of players. In the first map, it is you and 32 other people, so for 33 of total of 33, and you run around and you kill stuff to get currency to level up, and get keys to open chests and get more loot and power, etc. And then everyone who has made it to the end of the second day gets to go fight a big raid boss. So it's sort of like, you know, if people die hard enough, you don't get to, like, they don't make it to the end. So it's sort of like a cooperative battle royale where you want everyone to make it to the end. It's a pretty dang unique little thing, and it's pretty good. I think I'll put it in A tier. The combat is pretty good. Let's move my head in such a way that you can still see it. It's close enough. And it's a super unique approach, and I kind of liked it, but the grind was a little weird, and the, you know, like matchmaking with a bunch of random people and then trying to communicate is one of my least favorite things of all time. And so it could be an S tier game, but it'd probably be better with people. And I wasn't really able to experience everything. Like, the second map, I was never able to finish it because the boss just like didn't take damage. It was weird. I don't know, but you should definitely check it out if it sounds interesting at all. It's on Game Pass. And it's a very unique little experience, so could be worth a try. And I unlocked most of the things you could unlock. But there was some like daily progression gating and stuff. It's definitely supposed to be something you play a lot consistently over time. And I did for like a week, I think. It's a lot of games. This is a decent amount. It's definitely less than last year. But I did put Final Fantasy XIV on here like 5 times, so that helps it a little bit. But I don't remember what the number for last year was, but it was a lot. The tier list was pretty chonky last year. Played hard this year. I played okay. I played okay this year. I played decently, consistently. But yeah, 33 Immortals is a pretty interesting one. Ooh, okay. Next up is another contender for Game of the Year type thing. Let's put the one with the hot elf on it. This is Kazan, the first Berserker. This is an S tier. Why did it go there? That was odd. Kazan, the first Berserker. Kazan Elf 1. What a name for that. Kazan, the first Berserker is a anime Souls-like. So if you know that formula, you know that kind of thing. It is mission based. So there's a lot of Neo in the Kazan. It doesn't have the same like stance stuff and a lot of the extra mechanics, but its loot and its level design are very Neo. what the fuck is Sekiro coming in? So the it's not like a one contiguous world. There's a hub, and you launch missions, and you can replay those missions. You can go and kill bosses whenever you want, and all of the loot has stat rolls and buffs and things. And it is a very, very difficult game. Even for the genre, it is punishing and requires that every boss you're gonna probably have to do multiple times, because you just like, there's not a lot of ways to get through their health pools fast enough to like skip mechanics. Like, you're just gonna have to fight them and figure it out. But like the build variety and the weapons, very good. The bosses, while often very demanding and very difficult, are bombastic visually most of the time, to such a degree that even getting killed is like, what? Some of the bosses less than others, but some of the bosses more than others. The game is just very anime over the top, and is tough, but also a lot of fun and rewarding when you do it. I do believe I have 100% achievement progress for this game. The first Berserker Kazan. I have 102 hours in this bad boy. And I think they've recently released a version where you can have Kazan be like a lady with boobs now in game, which I need to go try immediately, but I keep forgetting. Like, wow, that sounds great. If you like Souls-like games, you've probably already played this. If you haven't for some reason, you should go play it. If you have not played Souls-like games, I don't think I would recommend this one off rip, because it is very tough. There is an easy difficulty that I played through on my like third playthrough to test it out, and it is easier, but I don't think actually makes it easy enough to be like, yeah, you can just chill and play it. Like, you're gonna do mostly the same things. You just have to, you can mess up like one more time. Squirm through NR, I think. NR. I don't think I know what NR is. Okay, and then next up we have Star Trucker. Night Rain! I see. Is that what the kids are calling it? Night Rain? Oh, Night Rain will be on this list eventually. That'll be an interesting one. Night Rain can be fun, can be very fun. That'll be an interesting one. Yeah, I've forgot about Night Rain. Star Trucker is on Game Pass, so if you want to try your hand at being a space truck driver, you could go try that. I think this game is a B. It can be kind of fun to boop boop start truck drive around, but I think what prevents it from going higher is that it doesn't have the like space trucking vibe feels that I was hoping for, because a lot of it is like stressing about maintenance and battery levels and things, and then often if you manage to accidentally ding like a space rock that you didn't see because it's too small to see, that dings part of your thing, then you lose money, and then you're like almost never making money, and it's kind of like it felt more like a chore game than like oh, I'm having fun with my space truck. But if you're into the like truck Euro driving simulator thing, it might be for you. This is the first of the truck driving things I've tried, and I enjoyed it a decent amount, but I didn't really want to keep playing it after I played the first like 7-hour stint. I think I played a little bit more, but I was like, Kazan might just kill you after all the Souls games. Kazan is pretty dang tough. It is really tough. But it's pretty cool too. Yeah, man, I played a ton of Kazan. Yeah, there's a bunch of ton of Monster Hunter, well, 33 Immortals, bunch of Kazan, Monster Hunter, Star Trucker, back to Kazan. Oh, ooh. Next on the list of games I played, Blueprints. Blueprints is a roguelike puzzle house exploration game where your goal is to get to a room on the other side of a large manor estate thing, and you draft your way through the house by picking rooms. And I'm gonna put this game, it's on Game Pass. This is on Game Pass, and if for whatever reason you decide you want to play this after I've talked about it, you can feel free to do so, and it's probably not too bad to try it. I'm gonna put this game as low as I can, which is probably not entirely fair. Because it is not a bad product in the basic sense of the word, because it is a well-crafted game with two subgenres that are well made independently. But when you put them together, it makes something that I think is an abomination. And that if this was a puzzle game, it would probably be A, maybe S tier. Don't put that. Oh, why is it in? This S tier is getting weird. We put it down there. Yeah. But, if it was just like a roguelike game, that would probably be the roguelike elements, kind of S. It might be a double S for its subgenres. You put them together, and it is the most heinous product that I have had the displeasure of putting myself through. The two halves of the puzzle and random roguelike are so incongruous that they form a black hole event horizon of suck. That is one of the biggest time waster games I have ever come across. How much does it track how many hours I have in this godforsaken piece of garbage? I hate this game so much. It might not be entirely fair, but I hate this game with a burning passion. My time played is 1.4 days. So what's that, like 30 something hours? Fuck this game. You know, I didn't know how charitable I was gonna end up being about this game. Turns out I wasn't. I don't think playing this game was worth it. I played it for fucking 36 hours. Are you kidding me? I mean, that's an approximation. It's probably somewhat less. It's like between 30 and 36. I kept coming back. This is the most, so a lot of times, like when I'm talking about like Balatro or Skill Legends Royale, right? Skill Legends Royale, I played like 70 hours or something like that. Oh, just one more, next one, or you know, the kind of like roguelike loop where you're like, oh, just do it again, yeah, just, you know, just one more, or you know, the win, or you know, that kind of stuff. Rabbit and Steel, Balatro, Risk of Rain, other things on this list. But looking at Rabbit, Steel, Balatro, even like to some degree Swarm, None Holy, and then Skill Legends right here. All of those things on here are like, I am into that genre. I don't have a puzzle game on here this year. Well, okay, Behind the Frame, that's a puzzle game. So I've got puzzle games, I've got roguelikes in S tier. Last year, my #1 game that I like immediate S tier was why can't I think of Chance of Senar. I like puzzle games. I like roguelikes. This thing, this motherfucker, this Blueprints that's supposed to be both, can go shove it. Hey Gerdan, welcome. I have a visceral hatred for Blueprints, and my dad likes to make fun of that, and maybe one day it'll be funny, but right now he's like, oh, like game of the year, like Blueprints, and he looks at me and I'm like, I hate this game. It's on Game Pass, so you could try it out for free if you have Game Pass. I would not recommend purchasing this. Because also, right, but normally it's like, these are the gameplay elements. If you like all the things in the game, you should play it, but that's fucking not true. Because like, this is a puzzle roguelike. If you like puzzles and roguelikes, you shouldn't play this game. I don't think so. And people like this game, and I think it's it's the Stockholm syndrome. I don't know. It's sunk cost fallacy. I think the more this game abuses you, the more you need to believe that it's good to like validate the time you spent on it. I'm gonna move on. I can talk shit about Blueprints all day. But I'm not gonna. Next up is Grim Clicker, free to play incremental clicker game on Steam. Now, I enjoyed this one for a while. What's my game time on that? I mean, it's probably bloated because I left it to idle a little bit. Grim. Yeah, oops. Yeah, 127 hours. That's not quite accurate, but I have played a lot of it. Grim Clicker, and it took me a long time, but I think depending on when you had asked me, it would have hovered somewhere between S, A, and B. I think I'm gonna end up putting it in C though, because after enough time, it became evident that the actual progression in the game was mostly based on this sub portion of the gear system that is extremely pay to win. And it got so slow and grindy so fast. And I started multiple, like, I had a main save and I started another one to test some stuff. And so it was very engaging for a while, but after I played enough of it, I realized that there wasn't a long-term game in it for me. And I just wasn't able to accomplish a lot of the stuff in the game. And so I'm gonna put it in C because it's like not that great. But if you want like a little incremental idler to mess around with, you could easily get a week out of it and be fine. But there's a lot better incremental idlers out there. Is I think my final verdict on that. Ooh. Next up we got Dredge. How do I explain what Dredge is? Dredge is not on the Game Pass, I don't believe. I'm pretty sure I got a copy of Dredge on the Epic Game Store. but Dredge is a game that I would recommend if it sounds good. So Dredge is a cozy Lovecraftian horror fishing game. So, cozy and not cozy. It is a fun little fishing game until it isn't, but it's also got a little inventory management upgrade thing. I think if you like fishing game at all, if you like upgrades and fishing, atmosphere, and a little bit of Lovecraftian horror, then you should definitely have probably already heard of Dredge and probably already played it. But it's a really good little game. I would definitely highly recommend. Hello, Drunken Dragon Gaming. Lovecraftian fishing game is what I call it. Yeah, I feel like that's the vibe I was getting. If you go watch like a little clip of like a little fishing mini game and you like the look of it, then I highly recommend Dredge. Dredge is a very, very good little game. For sure. I don't know if I have a lot more to specifically say about it. I haven't played like I would say I haven't played a ton of fishing games, but there's at least one more fishing game that's gonna end up on the list. So it's not quite accurate to say I haven't played a lot of fishing games exactly, but it's a really good one. What if you enjoy Orebound? I have not heard Orebound before. Ooh, okay, this is a weird one. Next up is, oh wait, actually I should check. Is that, yeah, that's correct. Is Oblivion Remastered. So I love Oblivion, and the Oblivion Remaster was really good in a lot of ways, except for the part where it crashed every 2 times I went through a loading screen. So I think I would have put Oblivion Remaster in S if I could play the game. But since it basically crashes constantly, it's sort of more like a C. Unfortunately, it's on Game Pass. You can see there's a little logo that's starting to appear on some of the Game Pass games. You can see it on Blueprints, yay. And on Oblivion here. It's not gonna be super helpful. I was hoping it'd be a little bit better for the tier list video, but the thumbnails here are small enough that it's kind of hard to see. I have a playlist, I think, I'm pretty sure, on my channel that is Game Pass games, if that's something you're looking for. But if you don't know Oblivion, it's the predecessor to Skyrim, and I think everyone knows what Skyrim is. It's a first-person or third-person RPG. Open world, sandboxy style, do quest, cause chaos, have fun. And the remaster, is very visually stunning. And it would be a really good way to engage with the game. What they did with the leveling system and stuff, beautiful. They made some really good changes. Unfortunately, I personally was like just not able to play the game without having immense issues. It just I have some videos about it just like crashing like 4 times in 5 minutes. It was kind of nasty. I think this would have been an S, but it was like really hard to play, and it was really hard to play and have fun. It required a lot of grit to get through, but it was almost doable. Like, given the performance of the game was so atrocious crash wise that it should go in D, but Oblivion is just so awesome, and the changes they made are so good that it managed to claw its way out of the lowest bracket by sheer force of incredibleness. Which is maybe more towards the original Oblivion than the remaster, but they did do some really great stuff with the level, so that can't really be overlooked. I'll put it in C. If you have Game Pass, I would highly recommend trying it, if nothing other than to see if it it crashes for you or not. If you can attempt to play it, I would highly recommend it. I think it's the only thing I'm like highly recommending in C. If you have Game Pass, give it a try for sure. If you don't have to worry about it not being good, then yeah. Oh shit. Oh shit. Big dog's coming. So the funny thing about this year was specifically this, like, you know, last third is, you know, kind of keeping an eye out for you know, like, what's the game of the year? And it started and I was like, Avowed was doing pretty well, and then Monster Hunter Wilds came around and I was like, yeah, right, Avowed's game of the year. Monster Hunter Wilds, easy game of the year win. And then Kazan came right after it. I was like, oh shit, we got some competition. And then RKO out of nowhere, game of the year dropped. And it's not close. Expedition 33 is on Game Pass as well. You can see the little logo. I probably wouldn't have played it if it wasn't on Game Pass, and that's a crime. If you have Game Pass and you haven't tried Expedition 33, you should go download it right now. On whatever device is available. Expedition 33, you've probably heard about it if you play video games and are also on the internet. There's a lot of left and right glazing of this game for a number of reasons, and they're correct. They're absolutely correct. This is a game of all time. Characters, combat, soundtrack. Okay, let's see. If I take a second and try and come up with a complaint for Expedition 33, is there something I didn't like about Expedition 33? There's probably something. Where they put you at the end of the like first ending of the game before the like ending is kind of wonky and not quite right. There's probably something else negative I could figure out. If it was closer when I had played it, maybe I'd remember something negative. But like, it's really hard to come up with bad things to say about this game. It's incredible. It's fucking amazing, and you should definitely consider playing it. I don't like turn-based RPGs. I don't like turn-based RPGs. But I tried this game, and now I'm like, maybe I should play more turn-based RPGs. Even though I've played some and not liked them, this game was incredible, and I'm like, maybe I should play more turn-based RPGs because they might be as good as this game. They probably won't be because this is Expedition 33 we're talking about here. But yeah, it is currently the I would say front runner for game of the year this year. I don't know if anyone can really compete. But I guess we'll have to find out. Excellent game. I mean, like, I didn't talk about what kind of game it was at all because like I don't even know if it matters. It's an RPG, and you should play it. I don't know. It was like, I didn't vibe with all of the little parts that were supposed to be part of the game, and I fucking loved it anyway. So, like, just play it. Cache Cleaner. I think Cache Cleaner Simulator maybe is what the full title is. Cache Cleaner Simulator is like a B. It's like a B. Put it right next to Star Trekker. Cache Cleaner Simulator is you cleaning cache and counting it, bundling it, and sending it out. And it's right behind my head in B tier. I do think it's appropriate to put it by Star Trekker as well, just because similarity wise, it has a fun thing where like cleaning the cache and then counting it and then wrapping it, is having your little stacks of cash is super fun. Like having little stacks of cash and then bundling it and putting it in bags and setting it out, like that's fun stuff. But unfortunately the loop gets a little bit too chore simulator. And the progression isn't quite good enough, and like some of the jobs are the things with the marked bills. The marked bills are so annoying. You get rid of all of them, and then someone's like, we want specific marked bills. So like it's B, like it has some really good moments, but then it also has some like kind of like so you know, it's on Steam, you could check it out if you want. But know a bunch of people who loved Expedition 33. I know one person who has played it and didn't love it, but I don't know. I think if you play it and don't love it, it's sort of a skill issue. And that, you know, maybe their opinions on games don't matter that much. You could use it as a litmus test of whether or not you need to keep those people around. No, it's really fucking good. It's not that big of a deal if people don't like Expedition 33, but you should definitely give it a look if you have time to play a game. It's an all-timer. It's an all-timer. Next up we got V Rising, the Oakvale update. I'll go ahead and just dump V Rising into S. I've played V Rising for like 4 years in a row, like I think on stream is maybe only 3 or 4. Maybe 3, just 3? Is it just 3? Maybe just 3. But I've been playing V Rising for like 5 years, 4 or 5 years. Like clockwork, they come out with a yearly update, and I play through the entire game again, and I enjoy it, which is just an achievement on its own. V Rising is a PvE or PvP, co-op PvE, co-op PvP. It's a potentially very online survival crafting game with a unique progression system of killing bosses to unlock tech and stuff. You play as a vampire, drinking blood, going out, flitting from shadow to shadow in the daytime, going out and hunting stuff, building a big castle. It's a really well polished game, and it's a lot of fun. I think it just kind of lives in S tier because I play it and enjoy it every year, which is like, what? That's insane. There's not a lot of games I play that consistently over time. I have an it's at 175 hours. It's not 200 hours. I don't sink a ton of time into it. But I play it. It's like one of my most consistently played games of all time, which means something. And that they consistently add updates that are interesting and stuff. I think this last update I wasn't as happy with, but I'm gonna put it in S just because I played through the whole thing again anyway. It just lives there. The game as a whole. This update specifically for me would probably be like somewhere between C and A. Maybe just like pop and B, but like V Rising as a whole still lives in S. That much is true. Next we have Moral Dilemma, the interview. This is like it's a free game on Steam, so you can go play that right now. It was a fun little short Wednesday stream game, I'm pretty sure. It's like a Stanley Parable-esque, just fun little game where you go through and you're like doing an interview and there's little mini games and stuff. And I'd put it in A. It's nothing. It's nowhere near an S. What contributes to being an A is probably that it is free and just kind of fun. It's nothing special, but it's fun. It's not too long. It's free. So for what it is, it's good. And so I'm going to put it in A because it's like, it's not like, wow, that was a waste of 2 hours. It was like, oh, that was fun, you know, and then you can move on. Or I think there's like, you can buy the DLC and there's like some more little activities you can do and stuff. But yeah, I'd recommend it. It's free. So like, oh no, all the money. It's a fun little jaunt. Okay, Doom: The Dark Ages. This one I played on Game Pass, and that one's pretty important. So, Doom is interesting. So, if we were just talking about the game, I would put it in S tier. Doom: The Dark Ages. Like, it is a bombastic, gritty, brutal, gory shoot fest of a game. Like, if you want to go out and rip and tear and just absolutely demolish hordes of demons and stuff, great game. If you want to, this is Sparta, kick a giant demon with using your giant like mecha Jaeger Pacific Rim thing with a bomb in its mouth into a pit and watch it explode, like, the game has that. So I would put it in S, but well, I'll leave it there. But if you have Game Pass, I would try it or consider it if you think those things sound cool. It has a kind of weirdly high reliance on parrying for some reason, which works for me because I play a lot of games that have that. But if you don't like that kind of weird timing mechanic thing, then that might turn you off significantly from this game, which is a little unfortunate. But also the price point, if you don't have Game Pass and you're gonna buy this game at full price, I can't recommend it unless you know you're gonna love the shit out of it, because this was like a 20-hour game and the retail cost is like 70 to plus, which is a lot to ask for what it is. It is a very good game, but it is short and expensive. So I really enjoyed my time with it on Game Pass, but kind of with the moral dilemma one, you know, price is important. And that the Grim Clicker is another free game that I played for 120 hours, and like I got a couple hours out of Moral Dilemma, but it's free. I only got 20 hours out of Doom, and I almost got everything. There's a couple things I missed, like there's some collectibles and things that I didn't go back and grab them. But like, what is my achievement progress on that game? Like, I got 85% of the achievements, and I think I'm missing mostly just some like little collectibles and some stuff. But like, I think arguably, I think it wouldn't be crazy to say, yeah, my playtime is like 17.9, so it's like 18. I feel like I could probably go back and get all the stuff in around 20 hours, which is just like really short. So yeah, it's that, that means something, Okay, wait. Ooh, Schedule 1. Schedule 1 is a early access Steam game where you start and operate your own drug business, and you work your way up from weed to what's that? There's weed, and then do you go from weed to meth, and then after meth you do cocaine? Was that the thing? talk about that. It's crazy. I think that's the thing. I have 46 hours in this game. So if you like a kind of like silly business running game, Schedule 1 is a slam dunk. Not too expensive for that short again. Yeah, that's kind of my take on the Doom Dark Ages. But Schedule 1, I think it's a pretty cheap game. If you like a comedic empire, like economic empire game, it's just a good one. It's just fun. There's some decent automation and stuff, and the dev is actively working on it, so that one's just gonna get better over time. That one's just a good little game. Next we have Deliver at All Costs, which I don't believe it's on Game Pass. I think it was a day one free game on Epic for the week, but I don't believe it is anymore. I purchased this at full price on Steam, but Deliver at All Costs is a little over the top zany driving simulator game, where often you're tasked with a mission to deliver one thing from one place to another place, and that there's always a twist. At any given point, you can drive through buildings and hit pedestrians, but for every mission there's a twist. Like the first one's like watermelons. There's always watermelons sloshing about in the back of your truck, and they're like falling out and breaking. And then like one of the next ones is there's you're delivering balloons, but the balloons are always being blown out the back of your truck, and so if you go off a jump, they like drift you through the air. And later there's one with a bomb that if you touch something it explodes. So it's a really over the top little driving game, and the driving is very slick once you get the hang of it, and it's pretty funny and over the top. I don't think it's quite an S. It's almost, and this is something else. It did. The story is pretty weird. The story is very weird, and for a while it fits the like, whoa, over the top, this is a weird story, but then it kind of gets kind of serious and then just like stops. So like, while I enjoyed a lot of the gameplay stuff, the overall product felt a little wonky. I had very much enjoyed myself, and if you go and look at the gameplay and it looks fun, then I would highly recommend it. How much time did I put into that? I got 100% achievements on it. That is, I have a perfect game, all achievements. I only put 16 hours into it, so a similar time dip as Doom, but I think it's like half the price of Doom. I think, but to cost to time ratio is a little rough, I think, for that one. But I don't know. It might not be over, or I don't know if it's a sequel or expansion. I'm not sure. I had a great time with it. I don't know. It's definitely not a general recommend, but like if you like driving games and you go and give it a look and it looks like fun, I'd check it out. Or if you picked it up for if you're watching your Epic free game of the week and you grabbed it, you definitely give it a try if you have it. I think we're mostly losing the D tier here, but that's fine. Okay. After Deliver at All Costs, we've got Retro Classics, which is on the Game Pass. I don't know how to rank this one. I genuinely don't know where to put this thing. Retro Classics on the Game Pass is a collection of mostly Activision titles from retro gaming, so mostly like Atari era games. And I don't know where to put this, because Yeah, checkers, perhaps. Yeah, checkers, some tennis. I did not have a lot of fun playing this. People had fun watching me play some of the stuff. The games in it are objectively pretty bad. The games did not used to be very good. This product as a whole, though, is very cool that it lets you try them. So this might be kind of insane. I'm gonna put this in B, or I'm gonna try to. There we go. I'm gonna put it in B, because the fact that I was able to go and experience the things, even if I didn't like them, was super legit. So the Retro Classics as a product is B, because playing it wasn't super fun. There are some better ones, there are some worse ones, but the ability to go and experience that without having to like pull out the hardware and have all the games can't be understated. And so I'm not gonna put it at the level of enjoyment I got from the products in it, because it was special that I got to experience them firsthand, is what I would say. So if you have Game Pass and you haven't played those or haven't done it in a long time, it's probably worth checking it out. It's pretty small. You might not have a great time, but it is pretty unique and a very good look at what things were like back when dinosaurs roamed the earth. I'm pretty sure is how that works out. Okay, we've only got a couple more. We're almost there. We're almost there. Only just a little bit more. Okay, so next up is Night Rain, which this one's tough. I'm gonna put Night Rain in S. Oops. Especially because of what else is in S tier. Night Rain is definitely not a Elden Ring level S tier game. And it is nowhere near competing with Expedition 33 or even Monster Hunter Wilds and Kazan for like a Game of the Year place. But Night Rain is pretty damn special in the way it evolves the Elden Ring gameplay loop. I have seen people online and even in this chat talk about how it's a, asset flip for FromSoft because it's almost entirely things that are from their previous games. But like, I sort of don't, it doesn't matter. Cause like, I was struggling to come up with a good example, but like, in the same way that the Elden Ring seamless co-op is cool, getting to play the Elden Ring gameplay loop like this online with your friends is super unique and cool. It can be really difficult. I finally beat some of the Night Lords on my own solo. Finally, after like 5 weeks. No, how much time do I have in Night Rain right now? I think I probably only have like 70 hours. 83. I have 83 hours currently. And right now, with the end of the Everdark Sovereign cycle for now, I've experienced all the content for a while, and at least for the next 3 weeks. That's what the current rotation is. After that, they might come back with some more Everdark Sovereigns. I'm hoping for some more content. Skins, bosses, Nightfarers, relics, and stuff. But it looks like for now, probably not anything, but I already have 80 hours in the game, and I will continue to play with my friends, and probably solo. I really like some of what the game can be. I have some gripes with the relics, and with some of the RNG and all that stuff, but like, I think what it's doing is definitely unique enough to be very valuable. I think for some reason, some people don't see that, and I don't know why, but it is its own thing. And oh my god, being able to go night 1 and fight Smelter Demon, and then night 3 rolls around and you fight the Nameless King, that's just fun. I feel like that's just cool. I'm playing a Elden Ring character with some Elden Ring weapons, and I'm inflicting frostbite on the gaping dragon from Dark Souls. Like, what? That's just, that's cool. I'm playing with my Artorias skin, wielding a weapon from Elden Ring. Like, huh? That's just fun. I don't know. That's just cool. That's just cool. I think that's cool. And like one of my biggest things with like the Souls games is always playing the same build, and you like can't really do that a lot in Night Rain because getting the same thing every time is very rare. Next up we have Nice Day for Fishing. Nice Day for Fishing, ain't it? Which is a fishing RPG based on the characters of a YouTube channel and their Epic NPC Man series from Viva La Dirt League. So they made their own little game that follows their little fisher NPC protagonist who becomes becomes an adventurer, a player. I think I'm gonna put this game in A tier. A tier is probably a little higher than it maybe deserves. It was a fun time, and there's good references, and so if you've watched the YouTube stuff and enjoy that, it could be a fun time. The fishing mechanic, the combat, the gameplay loop is decent. I 100% of this game, and I have, let's see, I have 17 hours in it. So it's another around 20-hour game. The last couple hours though, I was getting the 100%, and that part was a little excruciating because you need to collect the 5-star version of every fish, and you don't know how good the fish is going to be until you hook it, and then if you let it off, it doesn't despawn, so you need to catch all of them and it's a whole thing. But like it's a pretty good fishing game, and the mechanics are mostly engaging for the majority of the playtime of the actual game. The vibes are good, the music is good, the voice acting, the little bits that it is fun. The adventure is gone. Yes, all the adventures are gone from the game, but you are an adventurer now. Oof, yeah, no, the getting the 100% was not enjoyable. I think the game could really use the addition of something that lets you increase the value of fish, whether it be something a consumable you can use. I think something that would fix so many problems immediately would be the ability to have some consumable you could use when you get a fish to increase the star level by 1, because the amount of times that you hook a fish and you see its level and you know that it's 1 star lower than 5, and you're like, well, I don't really care about the money, but I need the 5-star fish for this collection thing, would be so nice. But like, if you like fishing games and you go and you look and you see that as far as a fishing game goes, its mechanics were surprisingly unique. It's like fishing combat. I'd consider looking at it. Next we have Crypt Custodian, which is on the Game Pass. It's a Metroidvania. I would say it's akin to something like Hyper Light Drifter. So it's kind of isometric Metroidvania, where you're going on the platforms and you're exploring a world, and there's a good map, but it's it's like single hit container style damage, and using a mix of melee and ranged options that you unlock to get through bosses and stuff. The bosses are fun. The exploration is good. I'd pop this in A. It's not a particularly long game, but it was a fun time. It's on Game Pass. I definitely consider checking it out. I didn't 100% it because one of the big things was I wanted to go through and like do all the bosses in challenge mode, and beat them to a pretty high degree of competency. So I don't know if this is like a 100% kind of game, but I got 80% of the achievements and I played for 10 hours, and I really enjoyed it. So if that is up your alley, I would definitely consider checking it out. It was a fun little game. Game Pass got some good deals in there, for sure. And then after Crit Custodian, oh, okay, we have the Lies of P DLC. Now, Lies of P was on the previous year's tier list and was an S tier game. Mike ASMR is popping. Is it popping off? Or is it making a noise? The Lies of P DLC is kind of B tier for me. Talking with your hands. Like this? Is this what you want? I'm gonna put it in B. It is more Lies of P, which is nice, but I did not really enjoy the DLC at all. Ding! Or I'm like, bing. Can't remember. Did you beat the final boss on stream? I actually haven't seen the final boss yet. I got to the door on stream and then I was like, I'll finish off stream. No, actually I didn't. No, I got to like the basement of the manor on stream and then finished, and then I explored the rest of the level and I got to the final boss door, and then I got the pop-up that was like, hey, make sure you finish everything because after you beat the boss, it'll send you back to the other time. And I was playing, you know, one of the big reasons I was playing was to reclaim my 100% achievement score. And so I was like, oh, I need to go do all this stuff. And then I left and I didn't come back yet. So I haven't even seen it. I have no clue what's through that door. It's probably some sort of like Arlecchino or you fight the hunter. I don't know what happens. I haven't walked through that door. Was it more to do with your save in new game though? So I went back and I played through a new save and I got it up there, and there was a difference, but it wasn't as big as what I was complaining about, because I went from being 2-shot to being 3 or 4-shot, which is I think what Gurdan said, and but I needed to see it for myself, which is a difference. It's definitely like pretty significant because, you know, 2 and 3 are not the same number, but like it doesn't really change how it feels. So while it is easier and different, it's not that different. But I needed to play through it and see, and like even though my New Game Plus character does significantly more damage, but the health pools are approximately scaled, so it was pretty similar. And I just the DLC is a little bit too grueling, and there wasn't a lot rewarding in it. Whereas like one of the cool things about the base game was finding all the new weapons and stuff and lore and things. And there's definitely lore in the DLC, but there wasn't enough like fun new things to make it feel like it was worth it. Where it was like, doing this super hard new thing, and then it's like you get like one more quartz and it'll like augment one of your abilities a little bit. It's like, wow. So I'll put it in B. It's more Lies of P, and it's a really good, like, Lies of P is a really good game, and the combat system is good. The game feels good and there's a lot of fun things to find and do, but the DLC was not what I was looking for. I straight up haven't seen the final boss of the DLC, but depending on how, like, if it's really good or cool, it could bump it up to A, but I'm assuming it'll be as hard and grueling as the rest of the DLC's boss encounters are, and so it'll probably just stay in B, because it'll be really difficult and it'll probably be fun to beat, and it might be cool, but probably won't, will it give you a really cool reward? Maybe, but it'll probably just be a weapon I won't use. I think that encapsulates my feelings there, where I'm like, More Lives of P is cool, but it really wasn't what I was hoping for. And like, difficulty is all well and good, and like that's, you know, part of the Souls-like games, but like it was a little bit too much to be like super fun for me. So Stellar Blade is by the same overarching company that does Nikke. It is a Souls-like RPG in that the level design and combat is pretty Souls-like, but there's a heavy emphasis on abilities, like cooldowns and like skill point bar in Stellar Blade. So it's loosely Souls-like, but enough of the gameplay loop is similar that I'll put it in that kind of category, but it could be, you know, more action RPG, Final Fantasy 16-esque. There are some elements there. It's a little, you know, just like action RPG thing, but the visuals are stunning. And that includes characters, outfits, animations, effects, enemies. It is a very good looking, good sounding game. How much time do I currently have? I haven't, there's a ton of stuff that I still have to do in the game. I'm at 32 hours. There's a ton of stuff I still want to do. I need to go collect more things. I need to do fishing. I want to get more outfits. I haven't done the Nier crossover. There's a bunch more of the game I haven't played. The story is acceptable. The exploration is fun. The combat's good. Everything is really flashy and really fun to look at. Yeah. The knit dress is stunning. The game is visually stunning. All parts. You know, it can, some of it is in some way related to Eve and what she wears or lack thereof, or extra, but you know, it's part of it for sure. The knit dress is awesome. I love that. But it is only part of it. When she does the double jump and does the kick thing and her legs are all like, I like that. That's stunning. When she's like back flipping and laser sorting, that's also stunning. There's just a lot. There's a lot. It's definitely part of it. I'm not gonna obfuscate that fact. But if you've seen the visuals of the game and you know the gameplay loop, you'll know if you want to try that one. That one is not on Game Pass. I bought that. Recommend it. Cauldron. Cauldron is like a mini game JRPG turn-based combat incremental idle game thing, where you do mini games and then do JRPG combat and switch back and forth between them. The turn-based combat with like a little group of people, and then the more you do mini games, the higher score you get, the more they make over time, and then the currency you get from the mini games you turn it into the cauldron to up your combat stats for the turn-based thing. It's a pretty interesting gameplay loop that would be S for me if I enjoyed the whole thing, but I really didn't like the turn-based combat part, and that made the game feel kind of meh at some points, because I was like, I like the mini games and the upgrades, but to make those better, I kind of need to go and do the JRPG part to make the incremental things speed up. And so there was an interesting back and forth in the loop, but I didn't like a pretty big part of it, and so that kind of damaged it. I think it's A in total because it's pretty fun, but it will be a pretty tough niche recommend. You could definitely look into it. And I enjoyed my time mostly. How much time did I put in that? I don't know if I'll continue playing it. I might play it a little bit more. I'm at 30 hours right now. It's a pretty cheap game. And you could look into it. It's on Steam, but that one's pretty niche. The ladder slide. Oh yeah, Eve going down a ladder. Sheesh. Don't get me started. Don't drop me back to Stellar Blade. Okay. Now we're into the final three. Warcraft 1 remastered. I think I need to put Warcraft 1 in D. Don't pet burning dogs. No, that's a hint from Warcraft 2. There weren't any hints in Warcraft 1. I think I'm just gonna put Warcraft 1 in D. I don't think anyone should play that game. I don't really have a lot to say there. I think Warcraft 1 and 2 are interesting to play if you want to play through the RTS genre. Warcraft 2, I'll bump it up to C because there's some quality of life. There is tips. They might teach you how to play the game. Don't pet burning dogs. That's Warcraft 2. Warcraft 2 is better than Warcraft 1. But I don't think people need to play either of these games. I don't think people need to play these games. I think it's weird that people haven't talked about how like not very good they are. I think they're important games and they are part of a legacy, but they're not good or fun. And I don't recommend playing them. Warcraft 3, however, is so far an excellent game. And is definitely the basis for like 3 separate and massively successful games. Service playing for us. Well, yeah, I guess in some ways I am glad that I played Warcraft 1 and 2 because I'm the kind of person that kind of would want to experience it. But like for your average person who doesn't give a flying crap about like the history of RTS games, you don't need to touch them. Like there's like a little bit of lore there, but like it's not worth it. I don't regret playing it like Blueprints, but it's I wouldn't recommend it at all. Warcraft 3 is responsible for 3 at least massively successful games that are separate games. That's insane. That's insane. And the game has plot. So far, I'm enjoying my time with it. It's definitely an S tier. It's very odd though because it's a significantly older game, and so I don't know if I can't really directly compare it to any of the other like titles around it. But I would highly recommend it if you have the Game Pass and are interested in the RTS genre or have played like StarCraft or StarCraft 2. Or if you've played WoW and want to go back to Warcraft, but you've probably already done that. So zug, job's done. Some of the voice lines from the earlier games were pretty funny, but you can experience them in Warcraft 3. So that's my list. This is all the games I played this year on stream. Let's see, that's 1, 2, well, okay, do I count the Final Fantasies? Sure, why not? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 18, 27, 36, And then 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52. Somewhere around 52-ish games. I'm pretty sure last year I was around like 70 or more. Getting myself to count Final Fantasy 14 helps a little bit, but you know, not a ton this year, but we got some. The S category is the most full, so that seems good, right? I like games. Well, I also mostly only play stuff that I think I'm gonna like anyway. So, yeah, that's my list. Hopefully, you can see the stuff you want to see, and if maybe I'll edit this down later. I don't know, or you can watch. Maybe you're watching back the stream right now, and you can just go slide around and find the one that you're looking for. I don't know if that's ever gonna happen, but yeah, played quite a bit of games. But yeah, this will be the end of Short Stream Wednesday. Hopefully you enjoyed talking about games with me. I might edit this down for a more digestible thing. We'll see. But yeah, let's see. Can I undo this? Oh. Just gonna in and out of reality for a second there. Boom. There's the list. Yeah, little bit longer short stream. Yeah, I'll try and I'll be wrapping it up here. Yeah. Nice. Thank you so much, everyone who stopped by today, whether you're here now or long gone. It means a lot to me to stop by for any amount of time. This will be it for me today, but I will be back playing more Warcraft 3 tomorrow. Yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed this. I actually could have talked about games more, but it is supposed to be Short Stream Wednesday. I'm always down to talk about games that I have played or play, so that is always something I enjoy talking about. I could have yapped a lot more about all these games, so if you ever need to watch this back and then check things out and ask me about it, hell yeah. Last Second Sky Time. Yeah, I was like, you know what, we're gonna reward that. Why not? A send-off. But yeah, thank you again. This will be it. I hope I see all of you. Well, I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their day. And I hope I see you all again sometime, hopefully soon. But it's okay if it takes a while. But yeah, this will be it for me today. Bye-bye for now. I talked about games too much. I gotta run. Bye-bye.